Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Burndown. I'm Justin.
I'm Eric.
If you are new to this channel, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. We just kick it, we light up a cigar, we pour ourselves a drink, and we have a fun time doing it. So please hit those buttons and follow us on Burndown Podcast, on Instagram, Burndown Academy, Instagram myself, The Dapper Cigar, him, Brother Cigar. Now that we got that out the way,
Call to action real quick.
let's get this episode started.
Yeah, baby, I'm excited. You know, this is one of the reasons why we love cigars. This is one of the reasons why we love the cigar community in general. Is the people in this community are just absolutely the best, the most kind, and they're always willing to give. And, you know, we like to give out as well. But today's cigars that were given to us and the cigars that we were smoking are from a good friend that we know on Long Island. He owns Village Cigar headquarters here on Long Island.
Yes, he
Danny.
does.
Danny. He has a location in Babylon and Patchogue, which I've been to plenty of times. Mainly the Babylon one has a great spot. He sent us a bunch of different cigars. He just said, "Hey, you know, I have a bunch of cigars that I've rolled myself. I had a couple of limited cigars I just want to send you guys just for you to enjoy, and a couple of limited cigars from a limited cigar association."
Yes, that's right.
Which I never even heard of before. Then he sent me the link. I did a little bit of background, which we have here today, which Justin has the write-up because he has it on the phone. But these look like to be the El Nuevo Comingo. El Nuevo Comingo by Paul Stulak. So he gets a limited batch maybe once a year or a couple times a year to select retailers, and he wanted us to try them out. So, Danny, first of all, thank you. He gave us not only these two cigars, but
He gave us a bunch.
a whole box, like taped to the nines. I mean, if you guys are listening, it's a whole box of.
And this is only half of what he gave us because we already split it up.
Cigars here, more cigars in here. I mean, damn. So
God blessed us.
It really blessed us. I mean, Danny, you're a kind man. He has a very successful business. He even does cigar rolling. He rolls cigars himself. I always see him at the weddings, at the parties where he does custom cigar rolling. So if you have a wedding, a party, he'll do it for you. He'll make custom labels.
Oh, yeah. He actually, he was at where Blackstone's one of the steakhouses by me, and he was doing a 50th birthday.
Yeah.
And he was rolling cigars. And my girlfriend saw him there, and she's like, "Oh, do you know the Burndown Podcast? You know my boyfriend's a cigar." He's like, "Yeah, I know the Burndown Podcast." She's like, "It's Dapper Cigar." He goes, "Yeah, I know." So he gave me one of the sticks that they rolled because he was doing the rolling there. So I have, so Harry, happy birthday to you, happy 50th birthday to you. Danny gave me one of your sticks. So
I don't know who Harry. We don't know who Harry is, but
yeah. So he blessed us. He actually hooked us up with these. Like Eric said, these come from the Limited Cigar Association. I believe it's an association where certain brick and mortar, certain shops are members to, and they get sent these special cigars. So this one is Paul Stulak Cigars. This is the El Nuevo Comienzo with Privada Cigar Club. Yeah. This one is a 5x54. Looks like it's a box press.
I think this is smaller. This looks like 4.5.
Oh, it could be.
I think.
It could be 5.5 by 54. I don't know. We're just gonna meet in the middle, 5x54.
You know what? I think I have the bag actually right here. If you really want to get into it, let me find it right here. Here we go. This is a Limited Cigar Association. This is. I thought I had the size on here.
Looks like a Robusto, 5x54. That's what I'm gonna say.
Anyways, it's a good size.
Anyway, so here's a little bit about it. This 5x54 Robusto. Blend is using a Mexican San Andreas wrapper.
Nice.
Love that wrapper.
Nice.
Habano 2000 binder and Nicaraguan fillers. So it's a little bit of a blend of those different tobaccos. Medium to full bodied cigar.
I'm excited. I never even heard of this. I never even heard of a Limited Cigar Association. So it's good to know. Fun fact for you. I like to know little things like that. So this is pretty cool. It smells delicious.
So this is, so they have two different sizes. The Privada Limitada is the 5x54.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the Paul Stulak Exclusiva, which I don't know if this one's that one. But that's a 5.5 by 54. And that blend has a broadleaf wrapper, Connecticut broadleaf, Nicaraguan Corojo 99 binder, and Nicaraguan fillers. So it's 2 different types. I believe this one is the Robusto. It looks like it's a Robusto.
It's like a box press Robusto. I mean, if you look at the label looks super fancy. It's got like those metal. That's got like those stamped metals that look like they're on the Cuban cigars. If you look, you see all those like little metals around it.
Yeah.
And then it has this crazy artwork. Like what's that famous painting where they're touching 2 fingers? Like Michael D'Angelo.
Yeah. What is that? Dave. Oh crap! What is that?
You know what I mean?
David.
But it's like crazy fancy artwork on the label like that. You know, the guy's super muscular. My guy must work out, but it looks like a painting from like D'Angelo or something like that.
The creation of Adam is Michelangelo. The one where the 2 fingers are touching.
What did I say? D'Angelo, the freaking R&B singer? Michelangelo.
I know, yeah. It's which forms part of the Sistine Chapel.
Yes.
The ceiling.
So yeah, it's like 2 people on it, but it's got that vibe. Like the old, like 1400s.
Definitely looks like a Michelangelo piece on it.
Right, for sure.
Yep.
So this is going to be good.
So Danny, thank you.
Dan, you're the man. Dan the man, thank you so much. If you guys are on Long Island, go check him out because he has 2 great locations in Patchogue and Babylon. We're smoking these cigars and we're pairing it again this week with some Eagle Rare. We just can't get enough of it. This stuff is so damn good.
Oh, it's delicious. I do want to shout out Danny's Instagram real quick.
Oh, tell him the deal.
So his Instagram's going to be right here. It is Village Cigar HQ Babylon. Okay, and I don't know if they have the Village Cigar HQ Patchogue. I believe the Babylon one is just
as the headquarters.
Is the Instagram handle. So go follow him.
And he's a young guy. He's a
great dude.
He's a great guy, and I would think he looks as young as us. So he's like in his 30s or something. He has a couple successful locations. So it's good to see people in the industry doing well and giving us cigars to smoke down on the burn down.
So we're going to cut these, light these, and pour ourselves a drink.
Which I already poured for us.
So we're going to cut these, light these. We'll be right back.
Let's do it. Be nice. Tastes damn good already. So let's get into it. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. You know, we got other things that we want to get done tonight. So we wanted to make sure we had a cigar in our hand, a nice drink before we get into tonight's festivities. We got a little giveaway later that we've been trying to do. I mean, we've been doing it actually. Every time we shoot, we go live on Instagram. So make sure for the future, for you guys watching and listening, follow us on the Burn Down. And every time we shoot, we do a little giveaway. We might give a cigar away. We might give 2 cigars away, maybe a lighter, a cutter.
Yeah, you don't want to miss those.
Yeah, it's just free stuff just for joining. And we ask like questions. So
I mean, the night that we're filming this, we're giving away a Cuban. So
we're giving away a Cuban. We're giving away a little single cigar ashtray, a cigar holder, like a cigar stand with a little punch cut that unscrews the bottom. So some pretty cool stuff.
All you got to do is go follow us on Burn Down Podcast on Instagram. And we go live and we post a story the day of telling you the time we're going to go live. Yeah. And you just got to join us and just answer a couple of questions. And the first person to get the answer, they win. It's real simple.
Shameless plug.
None of these like post to your story, repost to your page, tag a friend, like none of that. No. Real simple. Just make sure you follow us so that you can get notified when we go live.
Yeah, we put it up like 30 minutes, an hour before. We posted to both Dapper and Brother and obviously the Burn Down, but it's fun. We like to engage with the people. It's a cool little thing we just start to happen to pick up. But I mean, we like giving stuff away, but we also just like engaging with the people and just acting like we're all together and just hanging out. I mean, that's the whole point of it. So, and it's been good. We've got a lot of good feedback, and it's just fun. I wish that was like the full-time job, just to engage and hang out with people all day and just shoot the breeze.
It will be.
That is the goal, you know?
It will be, man. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Giving stuff away is one of the things that we love to do. Yeah. And that's one of the things we talk about. You have to give to receive, and being generous with whatever it is that you have. If you have lots of money, you're generous with your money. If you have time, you're generous with your time. That's the biggest thing that we say, give time away. But we're blessed to have a lot of cigars and a lot of cigar stuff, and to have a following that we can give back to. So that's one of the things that we love to do the most is give to you guys.
Yeah. I mean
I love it.
Being that it's going to be mid-November, I mean, why don't we shamelessly plug the little charity that we're gonna start doing for the holidays?
Let's do it.
Might as well just put it out there early. Why not?
We're gonna put it out there. So the charity that we are doing this year is called Christmas for Kids.
Well, Justin has been doing this for quite some time now. He's being a little humble. Justin's been doing this quite some time now. Since we made the podcast, I kind of asked like, hey, mind if I get in on it and kind of make it like a burn down thing? That way we can do it together. Twice as many donations, twice as many, gifts we can give out. Just expand and broaden the horizons. Bigger is better in this instance.
Yeah. So Christmas for Kids started, like Eric said, a few years ago. I just created a fundraiser to raise money for children in hospitals that don't get to go home for the holidays. For whatever reason, they're stuck in a hospital. They don't get to enjoy the moments of Christmas that most people do. So they're for whatever reason, they're stuck in a hospital. So I started this fundraiser to raise money for them so we can go buy presents and give them to the kids in the hospitals. So Eric had asked if we could join up, and I said absolutely, the more the merrier. The whole point of this is it's all about the kids, just raising money and giving the gifts to the kids.
It's all about the kids, baby.
So we're going to have the GoFundMe link in the description below. Please click that. And any donation that you can give is appreciated. It's welcome. We thank you for that. This year, unfortunately, we cannot give presents due to COVID. But what we will be doing is we can make a donation to whatever hospital that we're working with.
Damn COVID.
But what we'll probably do is they can accept gift cards. So we'll probably just buy a bunch of gift cards. We can give them to the kids, and then they can buy a present of their choosing. We work with local hospitals in Long Island for now until we can branch out and start working with other ones and hopefully get across the country at some point. But that's what we do. So it's called Christmas for Kids this year, 2020. Link is in the description below. It's a GoFundMe. Anything that you can donate, even if you can't donate, you just want to share it, we really appreciate that. Our goal is just to raise as much money as we possibly can so that we can give these kids a Christmas that they deserve.
Absolutely. I mean, most of you guys, I think, you got $1. If you want to just donate $1, anything will be appreciated. Mm-hmm. It's about giving back, and just about the holidays and the camaraderie of the Christmas spirit. It's a little
Absolutely.
bit, you know what I mean? So this is cool. So thank you for allowing me to come on and doing this together, because when you do it, I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. I mean, maybe I want to do that. But ever since we started the burn down, I said, you know what? I think it's a good idea to just join up. Why not make it just bigger? Why not?
It's all about the kids, and every dollar that we raise goes to the kids. We don't keep a single dime of it. 100% goes to the kids. In the GoFundMe might keep a little bit depending on whatever tip you choose. I think that's how GoFundMe works. You can choose a tip that goes to GoFundMe for the app. But every dollar that comes out of the fundraiser goes directly to the kids. Last year we worked with Stony Brook Children's Hospital. That's out east on Long Island. It's one of the biggest ones in Long Island, if not the biggest in Long Island for children's hospital. And so thank you again for everybody who is donating to that. Again, link is in the description below.
Cheers to giving back, doing good things for people, and just making people around happy for the holidays.
Cheers to that, brother.
Salute.
Whoa. Whoa.
That was weird.
That was weird.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Wow. All right. That reminds me of, no one knows about it. I didn't post it anywhere, but when we interviewed Tim Big Ash Rivard back during quarantine, I was editing the video, and there's a certain part where he's talking, and both of us, obviously you're here, I'm at my apartment, we're interviewing him, and we both grab a glass and take a drink at the same.
I remember that.
I have it on my phone. I might even throw it in the video, but we legit will take the glass and drink it at the same exact time, like just nonchalantly without even knowing. We're just like, oh yeah, and I'm like, that's hilarious.
Dude, we do the same mannerisms, same like. I mean, that's what happens when you spend so much time together.
Dude, I mean, people have even said, are you guys brothers? Which I think is crazy. I don't think we look.
And that's not like once or twice. That's all the time.
Anytime we go out, it's like, are you guys brothers? I'm like, really? I'm like, we don't even look anything alike. I don't know if
some people think that you and I look more alike than you and your own brothers look alike.
It's bizarre. I mean, growing up, people always said that I've been adopted because I look like nothing like my brothers. But if you know my brothers and how they act, we're all the same. We're all brothers, blood. But which is funny. But yeah, I mean,
hey man, you're a good dude, so I'll take it.
Hey man, I need more good people in my life, so I don't care. She, my boy, she. So,
shout out to Uncle Denny. She, motherfucker, she.
Yeah. Uncle Denny. Dude, we need to get him on here and have a good time with
him.
He
wants to be on here. Him and my stepdad want to be on here.
Yo, your Uncle Denny would be a riot. We should probably get him on a live, bring him here for a live one time.
We could do it for sure.
Once we expand and we get a little bit more space.
Well, that's one of the things that we had talked about is, how can we continue to grow? And one of the things is that we obviously like doing interviews and we want to get people here for in-person interviews. However, we only have 2 seats right here and we can't really do an in-person interview like this. Yeah. So how can we grow? We're thinking about, and please drop a comment down below, or if you're listening, drop a comment, or if you want to slide in our DMs to drop a comment. What you think about this.
Or email us.
Email us.
Burndown.mail.com. Always.
At gmail.com.
Oh, burndown. What did I say?
Burndown.mail at gmail.com.
Burndown.mail at gmail.
They knew what you meant.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about getting some sort of, if you've seen like ESPN or you've seen a news channel and you see how they have like a kind of a rounded table and they all sit behind it. We're thinking about something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe stepping it up, but we're not sure because this whole feel right here is really what a lounge feel is. So we're trying to mesh the two.
Yeah, like a little flip-flop. Like when we do just us, we do this. When we bring someone on, we do that. And fun fact for you, we were like this close to buying a whole set with Eric Coleman, who we interviewed. He's a 9-year NFL veteran. He lives on Long Island. And he's not far from here, and we were gonna ask him to be here to be our first in-person guest. And we were this close to buying a whole set with the table or the stools and everything, and then damn Rona happened and pushed it all back. So, fun fact. We almost were there, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe it wasn't meant to be right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, we're thinking that. We have a couple ideas. We have this whole backdrop over here that's beautiful about all the cigar boxes on the wall. So we're thinking of possibly putting some sort of round, I guess, high top, like a high top setting. We're thinking about maybe something like that. Because if you've been to a cigar lounge, you notice that they have the chairs like this where you can sit down, but they also have high tops. So we're thinking that maybe we can get a high top table. We can have people that sit around the table, get the mics all set up, put a nice ashtray in there, and have a setting like that. Yeah. So drop a comment, see of what you might suggest. Maybe you have another suggestion. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, because I think this is what separates us from from the other things out there. And speaking of that, shout out to Taste the Dram, because he asked to interview your boy. I know you did an interview with him already.
Oh yeah.
So he sent me a bunch of questions.
Oh yeah.
And one of his questions was, you have a cigar podcast with the Dapper Cigar Justin. How'd that come together? What separates you? What makes you guys different? So I've been thinking about the answers, and I think this is one of the things that definitely makes us different. It provides that lounge experience. I think a lot of other channels, a lot of other podcasts are just like, they just sit down and just talk. And we kind of want to give that whole vibe of you're hanging out with us, you're having a cigar, you're having a drink, we're having good convos, we're talking about sports, life, business, shoes, whatever, anything. And I think that's the vibe we give out. That's what people tell us, the vibe that they get when they watch and listen to us. So keep on keeping on, baby.
Yeah, I mean, if you've noticed, a lot of our episodes, on average, go for about 45 minutes to an hour, which is about the time it takes to smoke a common Robusto, right? If you have a Robusto cigar, it typically takes about an hour to smoke, depending on how fast or slow you smoke it. But on average, you can get a good smoke in about 45 minutes to an hour. So our episodes are about that long. Why is that? It's so that you can light up a cigar with us, put on the Burn Down podcast, and smoke your cigar with us while you're watching the episode.
You know how many people have said, like we've got messages like, hey, I got kids and my family's super, my life is super hectic with taking care of the kids and everything like that, and my only me time I have is when I have a cigar and I put you guys on and it just feels like I'm hanging out with one of the guys and that's my escape. Or Another, which was really cool. Another guy, he had surgery and he was in the hospital for weeks on end, and he really wanted a cigar, but he can only, he was in a hospital bed. So he just said, I put on the burn down. I just felt like I was hanging out with the guys and just, relaxing. It kind of took me away from all the pain, everything I was going through. So those are some of the stories that people tell us, which is just super cool. And it's just super weird that, average Joes like me and you, people can relate to and like vibe with. And that's the goal, man. That's, we just try to bring.
That's it, man. We're just trying to make your day a little bit better.
Yeah, because there's a lot of negative nonsense that's going on with everything in life, between your personal life, between external factors going on in the world, and other stupid things that people get consumed by. So you come out, hang out with the Burn Down, hang out with Justin, Eric, and just take a load off, Fanny. Just do it.
That's it, man. That's what it's about. I mean, if you take anything, if there's one piece of advice that I could give to everybody out there is leave the world a better place than it was when you got here, right? When you leave this earth, was the world better off because you lived? And how can you do that? You can add a little bit of value and make one person's day a little bit better every single day.
Yeah.
And if you could do that, you're a success in my book.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talk about, personal journaling with the, your values, your goals, affirmations, gratitude, reflection. And I think I might have learned it from you, but which I started incorporating. But we put, my highest values, and it's family, it's health, impact, what you just said, and have integrity, just having good character, good morals, and just giving
literally
back.
The four that I have on the top.
Well, yeah,
family, health, impact, integrity.
It makes sense because we do a lot of the same things together, so it only makes sense that that's what we do too. Because
what are some of the other ones you put on there?
Those are really like the core four. I think that's what's really important because family is everything, right? You have friends that are basically like family, so that kind of gets balled into that. But, if you have a good backing with family, if you have good family just in general, that's what really binds you. And with tough times and stuff like that, having good family, just being close and being able to talk to them about X, Y, and Z, it's always an outlet that a lot of people don't have, unfortunately. So family and just being a good family person yourself. Health, I've gone through a couple scares here and there, so just appreciate life and health a little bit more. And having good health is everything. Because if you don't have good health, you ain't smoking cigars, you ain't just hanging out, you ain't spending time with family, friends, you're not doing adventures, you're not going away on vacations, you're not doing anything if you don't have your health. Impact can be anything. It's just holding the door open for somebody, and maybe they're having a bad day, and be like, oh, this nice guy held the door open for me, and that was
making
nice.
An impact in somebody's life.
Yeah, making an impact in someone else's life
for the better.
For the better, right? You want to make an impact that's positive. Having a conversation with somebody that kind of makes them, for a lack of a better term, like get them off the ledge, like they're thinking about doing something maybe drastic, and it's like, maybe pump the brakes and just think about it, or maybe just be honest with them. And might make an impact on them. You know what? Thankful for having that conversation because it kind of guided me somewhere else.
And you'd be surprised as to how little of a gesture can go such a long way, because you don't know what's going on in that person's life. You can meet a complete stranger and you have no idea what's going on in their life. And even somebody walking past you on the street, they could be going through so many different challenges in their life, and they could be almost to the verge of, like you said, doing something drastic or making a decision that's going to put them down the dark path for the worst. And just by you acknowledging them and maybe complimenting them on their shoes or their haircut or their jacket, or just saying hello, saying how are you, and being interested in the other person as to what they're saying, listening to them for 5 minutes. It could be the smallest thing. You could just smile at them and say, hey, how are you? I like your shoes. That's great.
Yeah.
And that little impact, that little comment could go such a long way, because for them, they could be just, oh, I mean, I want somebody to notice me. Like, nobody notices me. I don't have any friends. Nobody cares about me, blah, blah, blah. And you make that one little comment, and it could change their day forever.
100%.
It could change their lives forever.
100%. I mean, all the jobs that I've been through, all the jobs that I've had throughout the years, I'm a pretty happy person. I'm a pretty positive person. And through the years, I'm just being myself. So it's not like I'm thinking about, I need to make this person's day a little bit better. I'm just being me. And me just being positive and just saying, like, being silly and just being outgoing and just like making a joke like, hey man, nice socks, nice hair, what'd you do yesterday? You're making a joke and just talking to them for 5 minutes. and that's just being me, and that makes a difference in people's lives. And it just gives, because you might have a bad day. You know, I'm just using work as an example, but someone might come to work with a bad day, and they know, oh, I'm going to see Eric or Justin, and he's going to be in a good mood, obviously. So it's automatically going to put them in a little bit of a better mood, because they know, like, oh, I'm going to talk to Eric, and he's going to give me 2 minutes of his time just to talk to him and BS. And like, I don't realize the stuff. I'm just the way I was raised, the stuff that I learned to do. I'm just being me, and I don't realize, like a humble brag, I guess you can say. But I'm just like, I talk to people, I do like little gestures just because that's who I am, and I don't think of, oh, I'm making an impact on people's lives. And then like years later, they'll be like, hey, that time you said this, I really made it like a cool, like it kind of just shifted my way I thought, or that conversation we had last week, like really, made me think different. So thanks. To me, I'm just like, I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And like you may not remember what you said, but that other person definitely will.
100%. And I mean, me too. I mean, talking to you, talking to other people, and it's like, well, I know, just being around other people, good people with, just a positive mindset and just very outgoing to make, a situation or an experience different. It changes everything. So, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you're constantly around 5 people that are just negative and all day, you're gonna be negative and all day.
It rubs off. So no, I totally agree, because I remember. I'll tell you one quick story. I remember I was in Macy's one time. I was just walking around.
Quick story? You never got a quick story.
No, so I was in Macy's. I was walking around, and I just I was in the same section looking for whatever as some other guy, and I just said hi. I struck up a conversation with him, and his name was Blaine. And we just started talking. I was asking him, like, what he was buying, what he was looking for. And he was just telling me, he's like, oh, it's actually funny. He said, I have such a pile of clothes and I have no time to do laundry and I need new clothes. So I just come and buy new clothes. And so I asked him what he did and stuff. He was in his family business and he was just really, really bogged down by work. And then towards the end of the conversation, he had asked me, he's like, so why did you come up to me? Like, why did you say hi? I'm like, I don't know. You just seem like a nice guy. We're in this, just figure out to strike up a conversation. He's like, because people don't talk to me. He's like, people don't usually talk to me. Yeah, I'm like, why not? Today. I was like, you seem like a nice guy. I'm like, got a good smile. You're friendly. We had a conversation 5 minutes. He's like, no, I appreciate you coming because people don't ever talk to me. And so I left and I was thinking about it. And I said, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that I said hi to him. Like, because who knows what he could have been going through. Like you said, nobody ever talks to him. So I'm glad I did. And I wound up running into him like a month later or 2 months later. I was in Macy's again, and I happened to, like, walking through Macy's to go to the mall, and I bumped into him, and I was like, oh, hey, Blaine, what's going on? He's like, oh, hey, how are you, Justin? Like a quick one. And he seemed so, like, bright. Like, when I first bumped into him, he seemed kind of quiet, and then when I saw him again 2 months later, he seemed bright and energetic. And I was like, man, I think about it. I said, I wonder if, did I talk him off the ledge? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder, because it made me feel really good, because he seemed very happy, he seemed bright and energetic, and it was something simple. Like, what if I didn't say hello to the guy? And all it did was talk for 5 minutes. Yeah, because it's not like we went and got a beer and hung out. I just talked for 5 minutes. He was buying clothes, and so was I. So
yeah, I mean, and it's easy not just to walk. It's just easy to walk past somebody and not talking. I'm guilty of doing it too. I'm not always giddy and willing to talk to people. I've walked past people and not said anything when I thought about doing it. I'm like, nah, you know what? I don't feel like it. So, but majority of the time I will. If someone comes and talks to me, I'm always going to talk to you. And it's just about being a human and just interacting.
Being a kind human being. That's one of the values I put there. Is kindness and love is one of my values on my list as well. And self-love on top of that. Self-love being, I'm a big believer in, if you don't love yourself, how can other people love you? And if you don't have love for yourself, how can you express love to other people? So loving yourself and being comfortable with yourself and enjoying yourself is big, and it'll show when you're talking to other people. It'll show in your conversation. It'll show in your mannerisms. It'll show in how you act. So I think that's a big thing as well.
And I think it's a great segue for our little next segment, which is the quote of the week.
So Eric, it is your turn for the quote of the week.
It's my week. It's my quote. It's my time. So
do it.
My quote we have up on here. It's from a picture I posted a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and it says, "All the significant battles are waged within self. Courage isn't an absence of fear. It's doing what you are afraid to do. It's having the power to let go of the familiar and forge ahead into new territory. Kind of messed that up a little bit, but
no, that's good.
It's kind of like the premise of, that conversation we just had was not kind of geared towards that. That just happened to be coincidentally relevant. But it's true. I mean, courage is really kind of going against everything that you're afraid to do or don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like run into a burning building to save somebody. No one wants to run into a burning building.
Right.
99% of people will say, nah, I don't feel like doing that. But there's 1% of people that will say, nah, I'm going to do that right now.
And everybody thinks that there's a big misconception about having courage and bravery. People confuse with being fearless. And it's not that you don't have fear. It's not letting the fear control you.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay to be scared. Like, it's totally fine to have fears and to be scared of stuff.
It's good to be feared.
It's good to be feared, but don't let it control you. Overcome it and face it, and then you could press forward. Like it says in here, it's having the power to let go of the familiar and forge ahead into new territory. Is familiar can also be a synonym. Familiar would be being comfortable, right? You're comfortable with what you're familiar with. So don't be comfortable. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Right? Growth is going to lie in that uncomfortability. You're going to be forging ahead into new territory. You're not going to know what it's about. You're going to be afraid. You're going to be scared, but don't let it control you. Face your fears and move forward.
I learned a long time from my uncle. You know what fear means?
Tell him.
Fear means false evidence appearing real.
Love it. And that's not what I was going to say, but I like it.
Oh, really? Okay. I was like, damn, you know it? All right, yeah, but false evidence appearing real. It spells fear. I'm like, damn, that is so crazy because it really is true. I mean, fear is just more cognitive and a mental. I mean, obviously, fear like you're face to face with a freaking lion. That okay, you're gonna be fear of that. But most things in life, people fear, but it's really just a mental thing.
It's made up.
It's really and you're stopping yourself from doing what you want to do because it's just false evidence that's appearing real, and you're making it a real thing.
And most of the time, you're afraid of stuff that hasn't even happened.
Yeah,
like you're just you're afraid of an outcome that hasn't even happened yet.
Dude, we've been getting real philosophical lately.
It's funny that you said it's false evidence appearing real.
Because what were you gonna say?
Face everything and rise.
Oh, okay.
So that's another same premise. It's whatever you're afraid of, face it and rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
And overcome it.
Because even whatever you're afraid of or you're fearful of, like say, like I don't know, you want to quit your job, start your business or whatever. Even if you fail at doing it, at least you said, you know what, I gave it a shot and it just didn't work out.
And it won't be a what if.
Exactly, because you don't want to be in bed saying, man, what if I did that? What if I actually had the courage to do that? I'd rather be in bed saying, shit, you know what, it didn't work out. I'm really pissed off about it, but I tried, as opposed to making up fake scenarios in your head saying, man, if I really did that, I could have been doing this. I could have been doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I heard something somewhere. Somebody said this at some point.
What?
Right?
Wow.
Right?
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Oh, they said...
Might have to put the text across the screen for that one.
They said that the biggest regret or the biggest fear would be lying on your deathbed and being faced with all the ghosts of the things that you could have done or could have been. So if you're lying there, you come to the end of your days, and all the ghosts of, what if I did that? 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 And all those successes that you wanted to do but were afraid to do, if all those ghosts are staring you in your face, like, man, you could have been me had you done that back 20 years ago. You could have been me had you said yes to that opportunity. You could have been me had you went out on the ledge and you did that.
I mean, and I think, and that's one reason, I mean, we're both in sales, but I think that's one reason why I like sales, because you create your own destiny, and you
There's no ceiling.
There's no ceiling. One day you're going to say, all right, I'm going to go after it, and you continue to work at it, and you see the end result of finally getting it, and sometimes you don't continue to go after it, and you're like, damn, if I made that one last phone call, if I stopped one more time, I maybe could have done it, but you held back because you're like, nah, I'm going to cut out early, or nah, it's not going to be worth it. Because you know how many times I've made a phone call, or if I made a stop or just a conversation, and they're like, thank God you called. It's so weird that you stopped by because of this, and this. And there's been plenty of times where I was like, I wasn't going to come. So 100% relate to that. So that is the quote. All the significant battles are waged within self. Courage isn't an absence of fear. It's doing what you are afraid to do. And it's having the power to let go of the familiar and forge ahead into new territory. You know what I realized too, doing a whole podcast? It's got me a little bit more comfortable and a little bit better at slowing down and public speaking.
Yeah.
Because when we went to New York Cigar Weekend, and we kind of just, we wanted to thank OG and Jameson for allowing us. We got on the mic and it wasn't planned. And shout out to Mike the Greek, our boy from Queens, because he kind of gave me the idea like, yo, you guys should go up and like just say thank you. It's a good look for you guys. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Wasn't planning on doing it, but I think Justin has the courage to just kind of just wing it and get up there. And it's exactly what we did.
It worked out great.
And usually I'm like, yo, I gotta have like some kind of premise of what I want to say. I need to like kind of practice it. And we just kind of went up there and kind of just crushed it. And I was like, damn, that kind of felt good.
It was great. It was great. And it's funny because when we talk about positive affirmations, talk about facing your fear, and talk about all this motivational, inspirational stuff, talking about stuff makes you more comfortable with it. And having these conversations definitely makes me more comfortable about speaking to other people about this, because it's a very tender topic and people almost, they don't want to talk about it because it's like, I don't know if it's
almost like fear.
It's like uncool, or it's like, wow, like
it's not,
people don't usually talk like that.
It's not what they're familiar with,
right? People don't usually talk about that. When they get together, they talk about gossip, they talk about whatever, sports, this, that, and the other thing. Not many people talk about motivation, inspiration, and values, and visualization, and facing your fears, and going for the gusto, all that stuff. They don't talk about that.
Bro, I remember, speaking of that, I remember on one of my birthdays, we were out at one of the bars, and we were a little bit lit up, and you were just going off. Mm-hmm. And some of my friends were like, what's this guy talking about? But you're like, yo, we're going to be successful. We're going to be at the top. We're going to be doing this. And I'm like, yeah. And some of the people were like, we're at a bar drinking. Why are you doing that right now? I was loving it. I was like, let's fucking go.
I remember that. And then they came to you, you're like, man, I love this guy. Like, I don't know who he is. He's like a motivational speaker or whatever, but this guy's got energy. I love it. I remember that.
So what do you think of this cigar, man?
I was just going to ask you, we're coming up to the end of the episode. We're at the point where it's one smoke, one rating.
Dude, I'm not going to go through the characteristics, but I guess I am. But Robusto is one of my favorite sizes. Box press is always good now and then. I mean, it's got really a good draw.
Smoke output is
ample
AF.
Ample AF. And
spicy motherfucker too.
Yo, it is definitely spicy. It goes good with bourbon. It
Off the cold draw, I was like, woo, my lips are tingling.
So I'm gonna go with like an 8.3.
Ooh, okay.
I like this cigar. Definitely smoke it again. Limited Cigar Association, good job. Danny, thank you. This is good, man.
It's good. It's strong. It says like medium to full. It's definitely
on the fuller side.
Teetering more to the full. Come
on, man.
Do I give it the full? It's either 7, 9, or 8. Which do I lean?
What did I say? 8.3?
I'm going to go 8. 8 flat.
All right. What did I say? 8.3?
8.3.
8.3. All right. So 8.3, 8. Bada bing,
bada boom. So that's going to do it for us. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And please hit that bell to be notified for when we drop new episodes. We got a new episode every Friday. We also have Burn Down Academy videos. It's our educational series. So be sure to be on the lookout for those. You can follow myself at The Dapper Cigar. You can follow Eric over here at Brother Cigar. You can follow this podcast at Burn Down Podcast. Follow the educational series at Burn Down Academy. Slide into our email at burndown.mail@gmail.com.
Slide into the DMs.
Slide into the DMs.
Wouldn't be a Burn Down episode if I didn't get smoke in my eye.
I love it. So that's going to do it for us. We appreciate you guys. We hope this episode gets you off your ass, gets you facing your fears, gets you motivated, gets you inspired to go out, be kind to people, change somebody's day for the better.
Boom.
Be an impact.
Cheers to that, baby.
Cheers to that.